Hello and welcome back. I'm really glad you're here today. Before we start, take a deep breath and relax. You're in the right place. If you've ever felt that English is hard, confusing, or stressful, this video is for you. Today, we're going to practice English the way it's actually used in real life. Simple, natural, and comfortable. No pressure, no fear. This is not a test. You don't need to remember everything. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to listen and stay with me. The more you listen, the more natural English will start to feel. That's how fluency really works. If you enjoy learning English in a calm and practical way, make sure you like this video and subscribe to English in Mastery. It really helps the channel, and it helps me continue making long, high-quality listening practice for you. You can also leave a comment while you listen or after the video. Even a simple hello is great practice. Now, let's begin. Imagine it's early in the morning. You wake up, and for a moment, everything is quiet. You're still in bed, thinking about the day ahead. This is a perfect time to start thinking in English. You might say to yourself, "It's morning already. I slept pretty well. I feel a little tired, but I'm okay." Then you get out of bed and stretch. "I need to get up. I don't want to be late today." You walk to the bathroom. "I'm brushing my teeth. The water is cold. I should wake up soon." You look in the mirror. "I look a bit sleepy." But that's normal. These are the kinds of thoughts native speakers have every day. They're simple. They're natural. And you can think like this too. After that, you go to the kitchen. Maybe you make coffee or tea. "I'm making coffee. I really need this." You wait a moment. "It smells good. This will help me wake up." While you're eating breakfast, you might check your phone. "I have a few messages. I'll reply later." You look at the time. "I should hurry. I don't have much time." Now you're getting ready to leave the house. "I need my keys." "Where are my keys?" "Oh, here they are." Good. As you walk outside, you notice the weather. It's a nice day today. Or maybe it's a bit cloudy, but it's not too cold. You're walking to the bus stop or getting into your car. "I hope traffic isn't bad today." You take a seat or start driving. "Okay, let's go." These thoughts may seem very basic, but this is exactly how fluency begins. English is not about big words. It's about everyday life. Now let's imagine a short, real conversation. You meet someone you know. Maybe a neighbor or a coworker. "Hey. Good morning." "Good morning. How are you?" "I'm doing fine. Just a bit busy today." "Yeah. Same here." This is normal English. This is how people really talk. Later, you arrive at work or school. You sit down and start your day. "I have a lot to do today. I need to finish this first." Someone asks you a question. "Did you finish the report?" "Not yet. But I'm working on it." "No problem. Just let me know when it's ready." Notice how calm this is. No complicated grammar. Just clear. It's simple sentences. During a break, you talk with a colleague or friend. "Do you want some coffee?" "Sure." "That sounds good. I'll get it." "Thanks. I appreciate it." You sit and chat for a moment. "How was your weekend?" "It was nice. I stayed home and relaxed." "That sounds perfect." This is everyday English. You hear it everywhere. Offices, schools, cafes, streets. And the more you listen to it, the more natural it becomes. Now imagine it's lunchtime. You go out to eat or buy food. "I'm really hungry. What should I get?" You look at the menu. This looks good. You order your food. Hi. Can I get this? Please. Sure. Anything to drink? Yes. Water is fine. Okay. It'll be ready soon. Thank you. While you wait, you might think, I hope this doesn't take too long. Then your food arrives. That looks great. Again, very normal English. Nothing special. Nothing difficult. As the day goes on, you might feel a little tired. It's been a long day. I need to stay focused. When work or school ends, you finally relax. I'm done for today. That feels good. Maybe you meet a friend or talk on the phone. Hey, what are you doing? Nothing much. Just finished work. Do you want to hang out? Yeah. Sure. That sounds nice. Or maybe you go straight home. I just want to rest. You sit down. I deserve a break. In the evening, you might cook dinner or eat with family. What do you want for dinner? I don't mind. Anything is fine. Okay. Let's keep it simple. After eating, you relax. Maybe you watch something or listen to music. I'll watch something for a bit. I need to relax my mind. Before bed, you think about your day. Today was okay. I did my best. Tomorrow will be better. You get into bed. I'm tired. It's time to sleep. Good night. This is real English. This is how people live. And when you listen to English like this, every day, your brain starts to recognize patterns. You don't need to force it. You don't need to translate. Just listen. As you continue listening to this video, your English will slowly move from B1 to higher levels. The sentences will become richer, more expressive, more natural, but the feeling will stay the same. Calm, clear, real. Stay with me. Just listen. As you keep listening, you may start to notice something important. English begins to feel familiar. You're not trying to understand every word. You're simply following the meaning. This is exactly what happens when you listen naturally. Now imagine another day. Not rushed. Just normal. You wake up and think, I have some time today. That small thought already changes how you feel. When you're calm, your English flows better. You sit by the window with a cup of coffee. This is nice. You take a sip. It's still hot. You look outside. The street is quiet this morning. These small observations matter. Native speakers do this all the time, without thinking about grammar. They describe what they see, what they feel, what they plan to do next. Later, you decide to go out. Maybe you need to run a few errands. I need to stop by the store. I also have to pick something up. You lock the door and head out. Did I lock it? Yes, I did. On the way, you might check your phone. I have a missed call. I'll call back later. You arrive at the store. Inside, it's a bit crowded. It's busy today. I'll try to be quick. You look for what you need. Where is this? Oh, here it is. At the counter. The cashier smiles. Hi. Hi. Did you find everything? Yes. I did. That'll be $10. Here you go. Thank you. Have a good day. You too. This kind of short, polite conversation is very common. You don't need to say much. You just need to be clear and relaxed. On your way home, you think, I'm glad that's done. You walk a bit slower. I'm not in a hurry. When you get home, you put your things away. I'll put this here. I'll deal with that later. Now, let's move into slightly richer English. This is where we slowly go beyond basic sentences, but still stay natural. You might think, I've been feeling a bit tired lately, or I should probably take better care of myself. These sentences are still simple, but they show more feeling and reflection. Maybe you message a friend, Hey, are you free? Later I was thinking we could catch up. Your friend replies, Yeah, that sounds good. Let's meet around 6. You think, Perfect. I've been wanting to talk. Later. You meet at a cafe. You sit down. It's been a while. Yeah, it really has. You talk about life. Work has been busy. I've been trying to stay organized. But it's not easy. I know what you mean. Notice how people often use phrases like, I've been, or it's been. This is very common in real English. You don't need to analyze it. Just get used to hearing it. You continue talking. I've been thinking about making some changes. Like what? Just slowing down a bit. Focusing on what matters. This kind of conversation feels real because it is real. These are things people actually say. After some time, you check the clock. Wow. Time flew by. It always does. You stand up. I should get going. Yeah. Me too. You say goodbye. It was really nice seeing you. Let's do this again soon. Definitely. As you walk home, you reflect. That was good. I needed that conversation. Now it's evening again. You're home. Comfortable. I think I'll take a shower and relax. The day went by faster than I expected. You sit down and open your laptop or phone. Maybe you watch something in English. I'll just watch one episode. You smile. Yeah. Right. It's never just one. You listen. Not trying to catch every word. Just enjoying the flow. Before sleeping, you take a moment. I'm making progress. I can feel it. And that feeling is important. Progress doesn't come from pressure. It comes from consistency, from listening again and again. As you continue with this video, your English will naturally become more confident, more flexible, more expressive. You'll start to understand not just words, but tone, rhythm, and emotion. Just keep listening. At this point, English is no longer just something you study. It's becoming something you use. You may notice that certain phrases start to feel familiar, almost automatic. That's a good sign. That's your brain adjusting. Now, imagine you're having a conversation that lasts a little longer. Not just short answers, but real exchange. You're sitting with someone, maybe a coworker during a break, or a friend you haven't seen in a while. The conversation starts naturally. So, how have things been lately? They've been okay. Just a bit busy. Yeah. I feel the same. It's been one of those weeks. This kind of response is very common. Simple, honest, and natural. You continue. I've been trying to manage my time better. That's always a challenge. It is. But I'm getting there. Now you're expressing experiences, not just actions. This is where your English starts moving closer to C1. You're not using complex words, but you're communicating ideas clearly. The conversation shifts. What do you usually do after work? Most days, I just go home and relax. Sometimes I meet friends if I have the energy. That sounds like a good balance. Notice how natural this sounds. No one is trying to impress anyone. They're just talking. Later, someone shares a thought. Lately, I've been feeling like time goes by too fast. Yeah, it really does. I keep telling myself to slow down and enjoy things more. These sentences reflect real life. They're emotional, but still simple. Now imagine a slightly different situation. You're talking to someone you don't know very well, maybe a new colleague. So, what brought you here? I moved for work. Oh, how do you like it so far? It's been good. I'm still adjusting, but I like the pace. This is practical English. Very useful. Very common. The conversation continues. What do you do in your free time? I like going for walks, listening to music, and watching movies. Any favorites? Yeah. I enjoy movies that make you think. You're now sharing preferences. This is everyday fluency. Now, let's move to another real-life moment. You're on the phone. Hey, is now a good time? Yeah. I have a few minutes. I just wanted to check in. Phone conversations are a bit different. You don't see the person, so tone matters even more. I won't keep you long. That's okay. You talk briefly. I just wanted to make sure everything's okay. Yeah. Everything's fine. Thanks for calling. Short, polite, and clear. After the call, you think. That went well. You feel more confident. You didn't hesitate. You didn't panic. Now, imagine you're explaining something. This is where many learners struggle. But we'll keep it natural. How does this work? Well, it's actually pretty simple. First, you do this. Then you wait a bit. After that, you'll see the result. Native speakers often use phrases like, pretty simple, a bit, kind of, or you'll see, these soften the language and make it sound more natural. Later, someone asks for your opinion. What do you think about it? I think it's a good idea, but it might take some time. That makes sense? You don't need strong words. You just need clarity. As the day goes on, you move through different situations. And English moves with you. It adapts. It flows. You might think quietly to yourself, I'm starting to feel more comfortable. I don't have to think so much anymore. This is progress. Now in the evening, you're reflecting again. I handled that conversation better than I expected. I didn't freeze. These small wins matter. Before bed, you review your day. I spoke more English today. I understood more than before. And you remind yourself, I don't need to be perfect. I just need to keep going. As you continue listening to this practice, your listening skills sharpen. Your speaking becomes smoother. And your confidence grows naturally. Stay relaxed. Stay focused. Just keep listening. As your confidence grows, you begin to notice that English feels less like a foreign language and more like a familiar tool. You're not searching for every word anymore. You're responding. You're reacting. And that's a big shift. Now imagine you're in a situation where you need to explain how you feel. Not just what you do, but what's going on inside. Someone asks you, how are you really doing? You pause for a second. Then answer, to be honest, I've been a little overwhelmed, but I'm managing. That pause is natural. Native speakers pause too. Silence is part of real communication. The conversation continues. I've been trying to find a better balance between work and everything else. That's understandable. You're now expressing nuance. You're not dramatic. You're not forcing big words. You're simply being clear. Later, you might be in a group conversation. Several people are talking, and you're listening. Someone says, I didn't expect things to turn out this way. Another replies, yeah, life has a way of surprising you. You nod and add, that's true. Sometimes you just have to adapt. That sentence is powerful. because it's natural. It sounds like real life because it comes from real life. Now let's move into another common situation. You're asking for help or clarification. Sorry. Could you explain that again? I just want to make sure I understood. This is excellent English. Polite, confident, and clear. The other person responds, "Of course. No problem." So basically, what happens is, you listen carefully. Okay, that makes sense now. Thanks for explaining. These phrases are extremely useful. Native speakers use them constantly. As the conversation goes on, you might agree or disagree. I see what you mean. I'm not sure I completely agree, but I understand your point. This is high-level communication, calm, respectful, and natural. Now imagine you're sharing a story from your past. Last year, I went through a pretty big change. At first, it was hard, but looking back, I learned a lot from it. Notice the rhythm. Short sentences, clear ideas. You continue. It forced me to step out of my comfort zone. And honestly, I think I needed that. That word, honestly, is very common. It makes your speech feel real and personal. The listener responds, "Yeah. Growth usually comes from discomfort." That's true. You smile. You feel connected. Now let's imagine a slightly more challenging situation. You're dealing with a small problem. There seems to be an issue with this. It's not working the way it should. You stay calm. I'm sure we can fix it. Let's take a look. Problem-solving language is very practical and very common. As things get resolved, you say, "Thanks for your help. I appreciate it." Simple, but meaningful. Later that day, you reflect again. I handled that well. I stayed calm and clear. This inner dialogue matters. It builds confidence. In the evening, you're having a deeper conversation with someone you trust. Do you ever feel like you're still figuring things out all the time? But I guess that's part of life. You respond, "Yeah, I think so too." No one really has everything figured out. This is advanced fluency, not because of complex words, but because of natural expression. As the night gets quieter, you wind down. "I think I'll call it a day. I need some rest." You lie in bed and think, "I'm proud of the progress I'm making. It's slow, but it's real." And that's the truth. Fluency doesn't come from rushing. It comes from living the language. One moment at a time. Keep listening. Keep absorbing. Your English is growing, even when you don't notice it. As English becomes more familiar, you start using it not only to communicate, but to organize your thoughts. You notice that when something happens, your mind reacts in English without effort. This is a strong sign of progress. Now imagine you're planning something. Maybe it's a small trip, a meeting, or just your weekend. You think, "I should plan this properly. I don't want to rush at the last minute." You check your schedule. "I'm free on Saturday." That works. You message someone. "Hey, are you available this weekend? I was thinking we could meet." They reply, "Yeah, that should be fine. Just let me know the time." You feel relieved. Great. That's sorted. This is practical. Natural English. No stress. Now imagine you're explaining a plan to someone. So, the idea is pretty simple. We'll meet in the afternoon. We can grab something to eat and just see how it goes. That phrase, "see how it goes," is very common in everyday English. It sounds relaxed and flexible. The other person responds, "Sounds good to me. I'm easy." You smile. You're on the same page. Now let's move into expressing opinions and thoughts more clearly. Someone asks, "What do you think about this?" You respond, "In my opinion, it's a step in the right direction. It's not perfect, but it's progress." This kind of response shows maturity in language. You're balanced, thoughtful. Later, you might say, "I'm open to other ideas. I just think this could work." Again, natural and flexible. Now imagine you're sharing advice. "If I were you, I'd take some time to think about it. There's no need to decide right away." This is a very common structure, polite and supportive. The conversation continues. "That's good advice. Thanks. I'll keep that in mind." Now let's shift to another real-life moment. You're at work or in a group setting, and someone explains something complicated. You listen carefully. "Okay, I follow." So basically, you're saying, you summarize, "Did I get that right?" This is excellent communication. It shows understanding and engagement. The other person nods. Exactly. Later, you might need to express uncertainty. "I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's heading in the right direction." Native speakers often say things like, "I'm not entirely sure," or "I think," to sound natural and honest. As the day continues, you move between listening and speaking smoothly. You might say, "I'll look into it. I'll get back to you." Short, clear, professional. At the end of the day, you wrap things up. "Let's touch base tomorrow." Sounds good. In the evening, you slow down again. "I need some quiet time." You reflect. "Today felt productive. I handled things better than before." You're not perfect, and you don't need to be. You're consistent, and that's what matters. As you relax, you might think, "I'm starting to trust my English. I don't panic anymore." That trust is key. Before sleep, you tell yourself, "I'll keep practicing, one step at a time." And as you continue listening to this video, your English keeps settling in, becoming a natural part of who you are. Now your English is helping you express more subtle ideas. You're not just reacting anymore. You're choosing how to say things. That's a sign that your language is becoming more flexible and more personal. Imagine you're in a conversation where emotions are involved, but nothing dramatic, just honest feelings. Someone says, "I wasn't sure how to bring this up." You respond, "I'm glad you did. It's better to talk about these things." This kind of response shows empathy. It's very natural in English. The conversation continues. "I've been thinking about it for a while. I didn't want to make things awkward." You reply, "I understand. It's not always easy." Notice how short these sentences are. Native speakers often keep things simple, especially in emotional conversations. Now imagine you're setting a boundary. "I just need a bit of time for myself. It's nothing personal." This is clear, calm, and respectful. The other person responds, "Of course, I get it." You feel relieved. Thanks for understanding. Now let's move to expressing appreciation. "I really appreciate your help. It means a lot to me." These phrases are extremely common and very powerful. Later, you might say, "I couldn't have done this without you." Again, simple, honest English. Now, imagine a casual disagreement. "I see your point. I just feel a bit differently." This is high-level communication. You're disagreeing without conflict. The other person nods. That's fair. Now let's shift to storytelling again, but slightly more detailed. Earlier today, something interesting happened. I didn't expect it at all. You continue. I was on my way home when I ran into an old friend. We hadn't spoken in years. Notice the past tense here. It's natural and flowing, not forced. You add, we talked for a bit. It felt nice to catch up. The listener responds, that must have been surprising. You smile. Yeah, in a good way. Now imagine you're reflecting on a choice. At the time, I wasn't sure if it was the right decision, but now, I think it was. This kind of reflection is very common in real conversations. As the conversation winds down, you say, I'm glad we talked. It helped. That's real connection. Later in the evening, you're alone again. You think, I expressed myself clearly today. I didn't hold back. That awareness is important. You prepare for bed. I should get some rest. Tomorrow's another day. Before sleeping, you remind yourself, I'm allowed to take my time. Learning is a process. As you keep listening to English like this, you'll notice that your vocabulary grows naturally, not because you memorized words, but because you heard them used in real situations. Your English is becoming yours. As your English develops, you begin to notice how naturally you can respond in unexpected situations. You don't panic anymore when something doesn't go as planned. You adjust. You explain. You move on. Imagine you're dealing with a small delay. Sorry I'm late. No worries. Traffic was heavier than I expected. That exchange happens every day. Everywhere. Simple. And tender was prettiest. And human. Now imagine you're explaining a situation more clearly. I tried to get here earlier, but a few things came up. Native speakers often use phrases like, a few things came up to explain, without going into too much detail. It sounds natural and polite. The other person responds, that happens. Thanks for letting me know. You continue your conversation without stress. Now imagine you're making a request. Do you mind if we start a bit later? I just need a few more minutes. That phrase, do you mind if, is very common and very polite. The response comes back, not at all. Take your time. You feel comfortable. You didn't hesitate. You didn't search for words. Now let's move into giving explanations in a calm, organized way. So, here's what happened. First, I checked the details. Then I realized there was a small issue. This structure is clear and natural. Native speakers often organize their thoughts like this without thinking about grammar. You add, it's not a big problem. We just need to adjust a few things. Notice how often English uses softening phrases like a bit, a few, or not a big problem. They make your speech sound relaxed and realistic. Now imagine someone asks for your opinion again. How do you feel about it now? I feel more confident about it. I think we're on the right track. These phrases show assurance without sounding aggressive. Later, you're listening more than speaking. Someone else is talking, and you're engaged. I see. That makes sense. Right. These short responses are very important. They show you're following the conversation. Now imagine you need to interrupt politely. Sorry to jump in, but can I add something? This is excellent. Natural English. You add your thought. I think we should also consider another option, just in case. The group listens. That's a good point. You feel included. You contributed. As the conversation wraps up, you say, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. Again, simple and effective. Now it's late evening. You're home, and everything is quiet. You think, today was full, but it was good. You reflect on how you spoke English throughout the day. I didn't overthink. I just spoke. That's a big achievement. You sit down, maybe with a book or some music. I'll unwind for a bit. Before going to bed, you think ahead. Tomorrow might be busy, but I can handle it. You're not worried about English anymore. It's just there, supporting you. As you listen to this practice, your brain continues to absorb patterns, expressions, and rhythm. You're not forcing anything. You're letting English settle naturally. Keep listening. You're doing better than you think. By now, English feels like something you can rely on. You may still make small mistakes, but they don't stop you. You keep going. That's how real communication works. Imagine you're in a longer conversation, one that flows naturally from topic to topic. Someone says, "It's been a strange year, hasn't it?" You reply, "Yeah. In many ways, a lot has changed." You continue, "I think we've all had to adapt. Some days were harder than others." This kind of reflection is very common. It's thoughtful but simple. The other person responds, "That's true, but it also taught us a lot." You nod. "It did." Now imagine you're sharing a personal realization. "I've learned to be more patient with myself, especially." That sentence shows depth without complexity. The conversation shifts again. What are you looking forward to these days, honestly? Just some stability and a bit of peace. These answers are natural. People say things like this all the time. Now imagine you're talking about habits and routines. "I've been trying to start my mornings more slowly. It helps me stay focused." This structure feels comfortable now. You add, "I used to rush everything, but I'm learning to slow down." The listener responds, "That's a good change." Now let's imagine a moment of humor. "I told myself I'd go to bed early, but that didn't happen." You both laugh. "Yeah, that sounds familiar." Humor in English often comes from shared experiences, not jokes. Now imagine you're giving encouragement. "You're doing better than you think. Just keep going." These words matter. Later, someone thanks you. "Thanks for listening. Anytime. I'm glad I could help." Short and warm. Now, imagine you're summarizing your thoughts at the end of a conversation. "I guess what I'm saying is, we're all figuring things out as we go." That phrase, "I guess what I'm saying is very natural and very useful. The other person agrees. Exactly. As you part ways, you say, "Take care, talk soon." Now it's late again. You're alone with your thoughts. You think, "I expressed myself honestly today. That feels good." You prepare for rest. "I'll get some sleep. I need it." Before closing your eyes, you remind yourself, "I don't need to rush. I'm improving every day." And that's true. With every minute you spend listening like this, your English becomes smoother, more intuitive, and more confident. You're not just learning English anymore, you're living it. As this practice comes closer to the end, take a moment to notice how English feels right now. It's calmer. It's familiar. You're not chasing words anymore. They come to you when you need them. Imagine the start of a new day again. But this time, something is different. You feel more comfortable in your thoughts. You wake up and think, "Today feels manageable. I'll take it step by step." You don't rush. There's no need to hurry. "I'll handle things as they come." Throughout the day, English supports you quietly. When something goes wrong, you think, "Okay, that's not ideal, but I can deal with it." When something goes well, You think, that worked out. I'm glad I tried. This inner English is powerful. It shapes how you respond to the world. Now imagine you're in one last meaningful conversation. Someone says, "You've changed," in a good way. You pause, then reply, "I think I've grown. I'm more confident now." That confidence isn't loud. It's steady. You continue, "I still have things to learn, but I'm not afraid anymore." That sentence matters. As the conversation ends, there's a sense of calm. It was nice talking to you. Yeah, it really was. You walk away feeling grounded. Later, as the day slows down, you reflect one last time. I stayed present. I communicated clearly. I trusted myself. These thoughts are natural now. As night comes, you settle in. It's been a full day. I did my best. You turn off the lights. Tomorrow, I'll keep going. No pressure, just progress. And that's the key message to carry with you. English is not something you fight with. It's something you grow into. Every time you listen, you improve. Every time you speak, you learn. Every time you stay consistent, you move forward. Thank you for staying with this practice. Keep listening. Keep living in English. And remember, fluency is not a destination. It's a way of moving through the world with confidence. You're on the right path. Before we truly finish, let's slow down just a little more and let everything settle. This final moment is not about learning something new. It's about recognizing what has already changed. You've spent this time listening to English the way it exists in real life. Not as rules, not as tests, but as moments, thoughts, and conversations. And your brain has been quietly doing its work. Now imagine yourself a few weeks from now. You're in a real situation. Someone speaks to you in English, and instead of panic, you feel a brief pause, just enough to respond. You say something simple, and it works. You don't stop to judge yourself. You don't replay the sentence in your head. You just continue. That is fluency, beginning to show itself. Fluency is not about speaking fast. It's about staying present. It's about trusting that you can express yourself, even if it's not perfect. You will still have moments when you don't know a word. That's normal. In those moments, you'll think, "It's okay. I'll say it another way." And you will. That skill is far more important than perfect vocabulary. As you continue your journey, remember this. Native speakers don't speak perfectly. They pause. They change their sentences. They correct themselves. They simplify. And so can you. When you listen to English, don't chase every word. Let the meaning come to you. When you speak English, don't aim to impress. Aim to connect. When you make mistakes, don't stop. Keep going. Progress happens quietly. One day, you'll notice that you're thinking in English without trying. Another day, you'll realize you understood a conversation without effort. And one day, someone will tell you, "Your English sounds natural." And you'll smile, because you know how you got there. Not by forcing it, not by fearing mistakes, but by listening, using, and living the language. This is English in mastery. Not control, not pressure, but comfort and confidence. Keep listening to English like this. Keep surrounding yourself with real language. And most importantly, keep trusting the process. You are doing exactly what you need to do, and that is enough. Now, as we come to the very end, let's bring everything together in a calm and grounded way. Take a moment and breathe. English is no longer something outside of you. It's something you've been letting in. Naturally, quietly, without force. And that's why it works. You don't need a perfect accent. You don't need advanced grammar rules in your head. You don't need to sound like someone else. You just need to be understood. And more importantly, you need to understand. From now on, when you hear English, let it flow. When you speak English, let it be simple. When you think English, let it be kind to you. If you forget a word, pause. If you feel unsure, slow down. If you make a mistake, continue. That's real communication. Remember, English lives in daily life, in greetings, in small talk, in quiet thoughts, in honest conversations. And every time you listen like this, you're training your brain in the most natural way possible. So keep going. Listen a little every day. Speak a little every day. Think a little every day. You don't need motivation. You need consistency. And you already have that. Thank you for spending this time with English in Mastery. If this listening practice helped you feel calmer and more confident, support the channel by liking the video and subscribing. It truly makes a difference and allows more learners around the world to grow with English naturally. Until next time, stay patient with yourself, stay curious, and keep moving forward. Now, as we come to the very end, let's bring everything together in a calm and grounded way. Take a moment and breathe. English is no longer something outside of you. It's something you've been letting in. Naturally, quietly, without force. And that's why it works. You don't need a perfect accent. You don't need advanced grammar rules in your head. You don't need to sound like someone else. You just need to be understood. And more importantly, you need to understand. From now on, when you hear English, let it flow. When you speak English, let it be simple. When you think English, let it be kind to you. If you forget a word, pause. If you feel unsure, slow down. If you make a mistake, to continue. That's real communication. Remember, English lives in daily life, in greetings, in small talk, in quiet thoughts, in honest conversations. And every time you listen like this, you're training your brain in the most natural way possible. So keep going. Listen a little every day. Speak a little every day. Think a little every day. You don't need motivation. You need consistency. And you already have that. Thank you for spending this time with English in Mastery. If this listening practice helped you feel calmer and more confident, support the channel by liking the video and subscribing. It truly makes a difference and allows more learners around the world to grow with English naturally. Until next time, stay patient with yourself, stay curious, and keep moving forward. Thank you for spending this time with English in Mastery. If this practice helped you feel calmer and more confident, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Keep listening, keep speaking, and trust yourself. Your English is already becoming part of you.